Hey guys, it's Alex with Hammond Watch. Wanted to do a little topic video on Citizen watches and specifically their Echo Drive lineup. I feel in the watch community, a lot of times the solar quartz watches are getting, have noses turned up at them. Not seen as, real watches, whatever that means. But I think that first of all, watch snobbery is a good thing. It can certainly get out of hand and there's a line to everything, but taking into account everybody's opinions and situations and what may offend, if you're doing that, you can't really be honest about what is objectively good or bad about a watch. The design, the build quality, the technology. And I think that technology is one that really gets overlooked. I've seen countless watch videos talking about this watch is completely overbuilt and this has a beautiful design. But when technology gets brought up, people start to think, well, that's not a real watch. And I'm not talking about smartwatches. To me, that's a shrunken down phone that you're strapping to your wrist. But there's a lot of companies that use new technology to create more affordable pieces that can do more with less. There's companies like Seiko that had innovations with their kinetic and then now their spring drive. You have high-end collectors kind of turn their nose up at that technology. It's phenomenal. Resence, it's Ressence. If you guys haven't seen that brand, they're doing some incredible stuff with their dials and again, really kind of pushing the boundaries of watchmaking and trying to incorporate new technology and just bring something different to the market. So I've always been a fan of those advancements. Solar's been around for a long time. The first solar watch to ever come out, it was invented in the 60s. It's called the Synchronar. Very not attractive, but was a total breakthrough in that now we could bring this technology to your wrist. And nowadays, it's so affordable. Citizen is able to provide these incredible complications, great design and build quality at just unthinkable price points, 30 years ago. And I wanted to share just a few of my favorite watches that kind of illustrate what they're able to produce at these price points. So I won't be spending too much time on any particular watch. A lot of these are going to have videos that are just going to be some of my quick looks where we spend 5-6 minutes, run through the general features and have a quick look. So I don't want to be too redundant. But one watch I'm not going to be doing a video on is the Nighthawk. YouTube wise, it would probably make sense. It would get views and more people to my page, but I honestly just don't have anything to add. There's extensive coverage on the watch. It's very loved. If you guys want to know more in depth about it, there are hundreds of videos out there that cover it, so go have a look. But just in general, these watches run, $190 new if you're looking gray market, which again I always suggest for these lower end solar watches. You can pick them up used in the 110 to 150 range, kind of depending on condition and bracelet, but honestly for the price points they go at used, I would just suggest picking it up new. But what's made this watch so beloved is its military inspired design and the 200-meter water resistance. So in a world where everybody appreciates and wants a dive watch because they don't want to have to worry about anything, this provides that same comfort, but you actually get that aviation style. And the complications that it has, and one of the most overlooked and probably underutilized, is their conversion chart. They have this inner rotating bezel that works with the red and white arrows to allow you to do several different conversions. You also have, you'll notice behind the hours and minutes hand, we have this 2 airplanes, and they are a GMT function. They only run through 12 and they have a plane on each side. Obviously right now you can see that's tracking 8 o'clock, and then as your red hand comes around, you'll see us come into 13 and 14. I think it's incredible. I mean, a GMT with 200 meters water resistance, a conversion scale, and the watch comes in at $180. It's about as handsome as it gets as far as a watch is concerned. Maybe a little bit chunky at 13 and change thick, but overall, I mean, there's just not much to complain about, and I would take this over a Quartz GMT any day of the week. Something about it, I'm able to at least justify it in my head more, it being a solar watch. Probably my favorite Citizen all time is the AT0200. It's a little 39 millimeter chronograph. It's not overly complicated, as you can see, just time, date chronograph. But finding a 39 millimeter military style chronograph is near impossible. And when you do, they're incredibly expensive, or they come from China. I'm not really interested in either. I mean, obviously, on the higher end, I think that the IWC does some decent things, but a lot of times their watches are very, very large, and their wrist presence, and this just kind of melts away and takes you to another time. And the dial is phenomenal. This one will have a video, so we'll move on pretty quick from it. But I mean, you pick these up for $130 brand new from a gray market dealer. Used sub $100, and I think it's just incredible. You don't have to think, well, it's just a battery powered watch ticking away. No, it's converting the sunlight for you, and that's just, I think super cool, especially with these kind of old school designs melding new technology with old school aesthetics. So unlike the AT we just looked at, the BL5250 leans a little bit more on the technology and a little bit less away from the design. And not that it's not attractive. I think the white hands pop off of the black dial very well. Just in general, having subdials eat away your numerals, like the 2 and 10 are being done, is a bit of a faux pas for me. But it's an incredible watch. At right around just over $200 gray market, although they tend to get a little bit tricky to find, it offers an incredible value. I mean, again, we're looking at a chronograph with 200 meters water resistance, this time in titanium, which, while it does take quite a bit of scratches and a fully polished case is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, it's incredibly light and I think still considered an exotic material when you're looking at wristwatches. You also get the functionality of running a chronograph and then having a perpetual calendar. Perpetual calendar is tracking your days, month, and year, so it's literally a set it and forget it watch. As long as you don't have it in a dark drawer for 8 months, it's going to hold everything. You're going to pick it up. It's going to lose maybe, I think tolerances are plus minus 15 seconds a month. So just incredible. At $200, I mean, I'm curious what the cheapest automatic perpetual calendar is that has 200 meter water resistance, because I bet it's astronomical, and especially in comparison to this. So value and complication wise, the S091063 sits atop the heap. I think that there's an argument for it to be the best value watch, period, for what you pay versus what you get if you're willing to go on the secondhand market. If you find these in stores, you'll see them around $400, but if you look secondhand and peek around on eBay, they're not always available, but when they are, you can usually pick them up in the low 100s, which is just, it's incredible. I mean, looking at the subdial at 2 o'clock up here, it's showing days of the week right now, but you'll notice that it has a 60-minute counter because this watch runs a chronograph. You'll also notice that there's a power reserve indicator. It snaps right around to for you. You have your time zone down here at 6 o'clock. That's because it's a radio-controlled watch, so you never have to set it. It'll automatically update itself to the proper time, day, month, and year. It is a perpetual calendar. Again, we're looking at 200 meters water resistance, and now with a sapphire crystal. You also get a 24-hour dial over at 10 o'clock, and carry a timing and a rotating bezel that's bidirectional. Watch is equipped with an alarm, which is a little bit tricky to set, and I'm not going to drag the video on for that, but just wanted to paint the picture. I mean, for just over $100, having a watch with this much functionality and technology, it seems unreal, but collectors will still turn their nose up in favor of a Seiko 5 with a 7S movement that's going to lose 10-15 seconds a day. And not that they all do. I'm a big fan of Seiko. It's just trying to paint the picture of, you know, just what they're able to produce here, and the technology is incredible. And I think it's very awkward when you know, they get scoffed at. So whether you're a seasoned collector with luxury pieces looking for a beater or an everyday watch, something that you can pull out of the watch box, put it on, and not have to think about. You don't want to set it, you know, you don't want to worry when you get in the water. Citizen's perfect. And if you're a new collector and you don't know necessarily what styles work for you or what sizes yet, it's also perfect for you. You know, go into that secondhand market, look around. You will find great prices and deals, and it'll help you navigate, you know, what's best for you. Do you like big chronographs? Do you like small field watches? They cover all of the bases, and they have all of those you know, fun complications that you see on all of these high-end watches, and just more attainable prices, and it makes it fun to play around with. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you guys have enjoyed the video. I'll also put the button up on the screen to subscribe. You can hit the bell icon. You'll get notifications. I typically put out 1 or 2 videos a week. Additionally, I'll throw some other videos on the side. Have a look. Let me know what you like, what you don't, what you want to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one.